Shabbat Shalom, my friends. This is Rabbi Yitzchok Tiechtel with Chabad of Nashville, here to share with you my thought for the week. Last week in Israel, there was a man that passed away, and chances are quite high that you came across him without even realizing it. He was a modest man. He lived to the ripe old age of 95. He passed away happy and content, leaving behind a nice family. While his life seemed uneventful, his demise was covered by one of the news channels in Israel. So when I saw the news, my memory was triggered. For some 15 years ago, I had a personal encounter with him, and he shared a remarkable tale. And soon enough, it was filed somewhere in the back of my mind. And last week, it all came back to me. Before I share his brief story, a little bit about this man. He was at the Holy Kotel, the Western Wall, each and every weekday morning, where he would clean the holy stones and make sure the sacred place looked respectable and pristine. Over the years, I've often visited the Kotel, the Western Wall, but inevitably, it was at night. On one occasion, early in the morning, I spotted him, and I offered him a greeting. And he then shared with me his life story. At least a particular part of his life experiences, which acted as his supreme motivator. He was, like many his age, a survivor of the Holocaust. He was incarcerated in the Mauthausen Nazi concentration camp in Austria. The camp commander was a barbaric sadist. He was an evil man to his core. It was a necessary qualification to get those kinds of positions. For these camps all over Europe were manned by beasts and thugs who brutally terrorized their Jewish inmates. One day, this commander, having just concluded another episode of gruesome harm against innocent Jews, spat out the skeletal Jews that although they dreamed about Jerusalem, and indeed, it is so much a part of our prayer and ritual that they would never actually live to see the dream being fulfilled. At that precise moment, the evil man was right. For the immediate objective was just to survive the day, let alone be free of that tyranny and even get to Israel. Yet, despite the odds, our man made it out of the blood-soaked European hell and made it to Israel, our eternal homeland. He built up his life. He raised a nice family. And when he reached retirement age, he decided that it was time to prove that evil sadist commander wrong. He was not only going to go visit Jerusalem, he was going to do something for the city of Jerusalem. Now, he wasn't a youngster anymore, and the municipality was hesitant to offer him a position that would involve manual labor. At some point, he convinced them that he would clean the actual stones of the Kotel of the Western Wall. Others with more energy and strength would keep the area clean, but he would look after the precious stones. And friends, so he did for many decades. Each day for the rest of his life, he would come to the Kotel, the Western Wall, with enthusiasm and excitement. In his mind, he was having the last laugh, having banished the memories of darkness and pain. This man was now transforming Jerusalem, one stone at a time. And in the process, healing his soul and serving as a great inspiration to others. Friends, we read in this week's portion called Toldot about the descendants of our forefathers, the legacy they left. That is the theme of this week's Torah portion. It is about the vital importance of nurturing the next generation to know who we are, what we stand for, and what we believe in. To try as hard as possible to keep the Jewish flame burning strong. So friends, while the world leaders gathered just this past week to discuss the planet and how to preserve it for generations to come, A more important task is being overlooked: how to ensure that future generations know and understand and appreciate the very purpose of life itself. A clean environment is vital, yet a pure soul is no less. For hand in hand with our physical efforts at preserving our physical world must be a renewed effort to preserve our moral future, our forward compass, and our religious heritage. And if there's one thing to learn from our man in Jerusalem, it is this: for him, those stones needing nurturing, preserving, and cleaning. He also appreciated that in the process, he was actually nurturing, preserving, and cleaning the holiest location in the world. He was cleaning the stones, but he was purifying the world. Friends, we too can learn from him to also clean the stones and the air. At the same time, to also purify the world by dedicating ourselves to our eternal and religious heritage. May we all soon merit to stand at the side of the Holy Temple with the return of God's holy presence, to wipe away the tears, pain, and suffering, to clean the stones, and open up to our rich birthright. Wishing you a most beautiful Shabbat Shalom.